also in Montreal this past weekend, where the goalkeeper of the Vaughan Azzurri, Colm Vance, joins us now to talk about it. Colm, welcome, my friend.
Thanks for having me, Anthony. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure's all mine. Colm, let's talk about it. You go in there to play the Quebec counterpart. I'm sure you guys did a little bit of scouting, watching as much tape as you could, and then right away you start down 1-0. They put one in on you guys, and you could sense that they were looking for that second one. You calm down, you come after halftime, and things started to change around. What was said at halftime in the locker room, and you could sense that the boys were frustrated. Talk about it.
Going into the halftime, it was tough because we, of course, you get the video, you get the analysis from the coaches, but you don't get the field play. You really feel them out on the field in that first half, and to be honest, I think we were underestimating the boys from Quebec. They were very good, they were very prepared, and they attacked well forward with numbers. So going into halftime, we realized, hey, we have a bit more of a battle to do here. Let's pick up our socks. Let's see what we can do. And I have to give credit to the guys, the leaders on the team, like guys like Jarek Whiteman, who really turned around in the halftime and said, guys, listen, we can be better. We can do better. We can connect more. We can play our game. And we really felt that even in the second half, it was tough to play it. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. But in that halftime, we really did have a lot of, come on, guys, we can do better than what we're doing right now.
And you mentioned Jarek Whiteman. I'm also going to mention Mario Kovacevic. These are two of the veterans on the squad. They've won before. They understand what it takes to win. They're the voice that is listened to by the young guys on that squad. And I think they're so key for success for your team in that second leg. Let's talk about the game plan again, Colm, because being there, watching it, you could sense that midfield was clogged up. They were doing a great job coming at you. And you guys had to use the flanks more and more in the counter once in a while to get them off their game as well.
The game plan coming in, we knew that they attacked well with numbers. We saw that in the play they would come forward and get 2-3 guys off the ball anytime that they came into our half. We saw that a lot, and in that first half we did really kind of feel them out. We got a good feel for it, and then, as you mentioned, we did have to start hitting the flanks. The reason being is when they have 3-4 guys coming forward, they seem to clog it, and we couldn't play our usual game of passing out. So we had to look to go over the top. We had to look go down the wings. We were having some success, but again, they were very good at pressuring us in our first half, and that is actually how we gave up the first goal. Is they were putting us under a lot of pressure. We had some debacle of clearance, went right to their players, and they came down our throats. So yes, it was a difficult. The game plan was, again, play out the back, play our game, but they were pressing high. We had to go to the flanks. We had to go over the top, and I'm glad that in the end we got a goal back.
Yeah, physical game. Mario Kovacevic with the PK. It really burst the balloon, I believe, in your Quebec counterpart. You could see that was a massive, massive goal, and then you almost had a second before the game finished out.
Yeah, it was, oh my goodness, in just the way that the game was going, the last 10 minutes, and I know that you remember it too, they were in our half for most of it. We were almost scrambling, and it was a kind of scary part. And as the goalie, that's the parts that I remember, because I wasn't scared, but it was a good time to be in net for me, and I really enjoy that competition. I really enjoy when the ball is in my half. Even though I like to say that it's in the other end and we're getting goals, that's great. But I also do enjoy having the ball in my half because I get to make some saves. So it was a great game, very good, well played. I know we're all excited for the next one. We are very, very excited for this weekend.
Well, you talk about enjoying having the ball in your half and making saves. I looked over to my counterpart, the commissioner, Dino Rossi, who was there as well, and I said to him at the end of the game, if it wasn't for the goalkeeper, Vaughan, making 4 or 5 saves, standing on his head, we could be going back to Ontario down 2 or 3-0 and turn out the lights. The party's over. Quebec will get their first interprovincial cup. But you stood on your head. But I got to be honest, as a goalkeeper, I've never played goalkeeper. I've always played the mid and also defense when I was growing up. And as a goalkeeper, you must have let your guys in front of you have it. I mean, you had to cover and save their bacon on numerous occasions. I mean, what was the focus there on a few times that they just let those guys come through on you?
The thing is, it's a lot of the communication, and I know that teaching goalkeepers and being around goalkeepers a lot, you know, a lot of the good ones are the ones that can tell their defenders what to do. And even though you then think, well, if they can't save a shot, what good is it to communicate with their defenders? The fact is, if they can communicate well with their defenders, they don't get any shots. So the benefit of being an excellent communicator is that you have that capacity to, you're not going to get that many shots in a game. So it's hard to rip into the players. I wish I could go Schmeichel on them and just go mental. But at the same time, it's hard because then they get down on themselves and they think I see them as people first rather than soccer players first. And it's a scary thing. And I've always had goalie coaches say, "No, you got to rip them," but I can't. I can if I'm heated, but at the same time, I try my best not to. And I'd rather just have a calm, cool, collected conversation. And usually it's after when I'm having a goal kick, whatever it is, I get some time, and I'll try to just tell them, "Guys, we have to be better. Like, come on, you can't be stepping all the time. Or you two center backs, you got to stay connected. One of you can't go, and if one of them does, you got to drop in behind." It's the little things. But yes, we were having some conversations for sure about the debacle that was happening in the back line. But at the same time, can't get too hard on the boys.
Well, let's give them some credit. I got to tell you, Adrian Butters and also Jared Phillips were a bit shaky in that first half. But once they got their feet, once they got their rhythm, watch out. That second half, they closed a lot of things down. They started to play much, much more compact. And I got to tell you something. To me, I don't know if you noticed this, but if you turn that switch on Phillips, watch out. That kid could be dynamite. If the switch is off, you got problems as well.
I haven't been playing with Jared for too long. I've only been with him for about 2 years, and he's always surprised me. And I agree with you, Anthony. When he's on, the man can move, the man can play, and the man knows where to be. He's an excellent, excellent soccer player. But sometimes, of course, everyone can switch off from time to time. But I agree with you. When Jared Phillips is on, and he had moments, and you can see it when he's on the attack, that man can move, and he knows where to go. He knows how to place his body to get the ball behind and get going down the wing. I think he's an excellent player, regardless of I know he can be off at times, but at the same time, from the majority of what I've seen from Jared Phillips, that man has been on for more than he's been off.
Let's talk about your Quebec counterpart. A lot of people don't get to see many of the games out in Quebec. Myself and Commissioner Dino Rossi, we've seen a few, so we understand what competition they have out there. And I thought they really brought it this year in that first leg against you guys. In the first 2 years, I thought they were a little bit uneasy. They were unsure of what they were coming up against, knowing the League One Ontario is 3 years in and there's some great players coming out of there, on and on. But I thought this year, in the first game, in the first leg, they really showed up. They had a lot of spirit, a lot of hunger, motivation to beat you guys. And I think this is great, not just for the interprovincial, but for the game in this country to see this type of competition take place. Your thoughts, Colin?
I'll tell you, after the game, it was weird shaking hands. Usually it's a good game, and it was a good job. But I was talking to the guys on the Quebec team afterwards, and I absolutely loved playing against them. The reason being is I haven't seen that kind of competition in a while. So just to see the level of play that we can all get to, it's like, oh man, this is nuts. I didn't think that a team would be challenging us this much, would be breaking our lines this much, would be making us react this much. And I often see, as the goalie, I think of soccer often as a tactical game. What can we do to better them in terms of the strategy, in terms of where we are on the field? And they were making us scramble. And I really enjoy that because guess what? We get to learn from that. And we get to say, guys, how much better can we become so we can make them scramble? And we're very excited to do that on Saturday and just talking with the guys this week. It's like, oh, we're getting more amped and amped and amped. But I agree with you. They brought their game on the weekend, and it was an excellent game to be a part of. It was an excellent turnout for Quebec soccer in terms of the 700 fans that came in. It was a packed house. Great football. It was an amazing weekend, and I'm excited to see that that's within our own nation.
Yeah, I was shocked. I got to be honest, I was shocked but surprised. I had a smile on my face with the amount of supporters that came out to watch that game. The drums, the horns. When they got that first goal, you could hear them erupt. It was absolutely fantastic atmosphere, especially on a Saturday night in Montreal. The Montreal Canadiens are playing on and on and on. A great city of Montreal with the entertainment, but they packed them in. It was great. Let me ask you this, Con. You know, before a game, maybe 24 hours before, maybe minutes before, maybe hours before, how do you get yourself mentally ready for a match like this? And why I ask that is simply this. I was doing the tour an hour before the game, and I was looking around at the facility, talking to a few people, and here I see on the second deck Mario Kovacevic, and I believe it was also Jarek Whiteman or someone else. They're up there, they're relaxed, they're listening to their tunes, and I'm almost guaranteeing you they're visualizing the game play out in their mind as they're sitting up there. How do you take care of that before the game and also the day or two before? How do you, focus on that?
When I played at York University, we had an excellent. He was more of like a strategy or a mental health coach, and he taught me, Colin, one of the best things you can do for yourself is have a great night's sleep before you do. So for me, and that's the biggest start. It's the night before. Usually, I'm pretty good for. The coaches always told me when I was younger, 2 nights before, but for me, it's the night before. Realistically, get me a good sleep, and the next day coming in, it's usually when I first wake up. It's not thoughts about the game, but it's just, let's have a good day today. Let's not even in just about the playing. Let's just have a good day. So getting to the game for me, it's a lot to do with, let me check out the field. I love the facility, even though it seemed small. The roof was kind of annoying, but beyond that, being inside, being in that sort of factory feeling, it was enjoyable. So getting to the field, I just wanted to check out the field. And then for me, I have tuned in to my own self, and I know that happiness is my go-to emotion before a game. Weirdly enough, a lot of guys would like to get amped up, get very riled, get very rowdy. I get to that point by being immersed in joy, and it's a strange thing, but you'll see me before a game all smiles, and it's like, what? Why is my goalie smiling? But it's almost like this crazy, almost like big smile on my face, and I've been told by other players who have watched me in that routine, they think I'm very different, and they think that I'm very weird. But for me, it works the best, and I feel like the way that I play, the way that I am, it's happiness. I go to happiness, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know if you've heard that one before, but I get very happy before a game, and if I'm happy into it, I love being there.
Well, that's great to hear, because why shouldn't you be happy? You got your health, you're playing the game that so many people love worldwide, you're enjoying it, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. I'm sure you wouldn't either. You used the word rowdy. Let's talk about the rowdy board members of the club that came on board to the trip there to support you. You had some parents make the trip. I mean, this is a close-knit group, whether it's the board of Vaughan Azzurri, joking, taking pictures, having dinner after the game. Family atmosphere, some of the folks of the players came out. I think this is special, and it's something that needs to be told. You tell it, Com.
When we got there, I'll tell you, the board had already set up the rooms for us. They had everything in mind. They had, guys, what do you need? What do you want? What do you kind of want to get out of the weekend beyond just being here for soccer? And for that, it's a testament to how good they are as people, because they know that, hey, who's coming in? We have a bunch of guys who love to play the game, but again, it's a bunch of guys here. So let's make them have an awesome weekend on top of let's make them the best. Let's support them the best way we can to have a great soccer match. So this guy, the entire board member being there, I know some of them on more of a personal level than others, but when they all showed up and were in this massive group, they treated me with very much respect, and they treated me to be part of the family. And I get that from the personal interactions I have with the select few. But that weekend, I felt it from every single one of them, even if I didn't know them extremely personally. So it was a great feeling to know that, hey, you're surrounded by these people who want you to succeed. That is one of the best things that you can have in life across the board. So the fact that once we got there, these board members are just, hey man, like, what do you need? What do you want? Let's have a great weekend. That was an outstanding feat, and I have to give them a huge thank you to all of them for coming out to the game, supporting us, and making us have an outstanding weekend, and getting us prepared for the next weekend as well.
Well, we'll close it with this. You used the word thank you. Let's use it again, thank you. Who do you want to thank you on this journey that you're living out right now? You've played with York Lions, national champions, time and time again. Great program under head coach Carmen Asako. You're playing with Vaughan Azzurri and possibly an interprovincial title. I'm sure there's people in your life that has helped you through this journey, people that have helped you through the ups and downs and taken you to games when you didn't feel like going, filling up the gas tank of cars, taking you here and there. Who has helped you? Has it been a sibling, a parent, a coach that believed in you? Who's believed in you through thick and thin?
Well, ever since I was young, it was my parents. My parents brought me to all my games, and I'm from Bradford, Ontario. And in Bradford, they have a local club that is now starting to prosper, and they have a lot of academies that are slowly forming in Bradford, because you're seeing a lot of people moving up north, and that's bringing this rise in local soccer, and I'm very happy to see that. But when I was younger, the Bradford soccer wasn't the biggest thing. We're more of a hockey town. So my parents would drive me up to York Jets Soccer Club over on Black Creek in Eglinton.
Wow, stop there. Wow, stop there. York Jets, unbelievable you mentioned that. As a young, I'm almost pushing the big number of 5-0 in a few years, and I started there as a young boy as well.
No way.
One of my sons also played that, so that puts a real soft spot on my heart. Continue on.
So York Jets, I was driving up there ever since I was 12 years old. And when we were 15, we were taken over. Our team was taken over by the president, Wayne Butler, and I have to give my biggest thank you to him because he took us over from 15, and we just kept going up the ranks. And often with York Jets, I love it, but whenever they have a team that people know, it's because they know they're pretty good. So with us, it was our U18 team. We were in the OYSL when that was still around, just playing and having a great time. And I know that we did extremely well. We never ended up winning the end of it all, but it developed me as a soccer player, and I really liked Wayne in the club, and that they developed young men too. So coming into York with Carm, I didn't know what to expect, and I'll tell you, in my first practice with him, it was an amazing practice. It was in the hangar over at Downsview Park, small little park, and I had a goal kick on my feet. And I see the goalie, and he's way out at half. I don't know what he's doing, so I decided, screw it, we're going to try it. Put it forward, chipped him, way over the top, into the back of the net. And all the guys are looking around like, who's this new kid? How did he just do that? And I look over at Carm Masako, and he's just standing there. No word of a lie. His face doesn't change. He doesn't get elated at all. He just goes, okay, play on. And from that point, I knew I want to impress this man because it takes a lot to impress him. So Carm has always pushed me, has always made me a better man, has made me a better soccer player, and that is one of the big thank yous I have to give out as well.